And we are back live. We are broadcasting live at Truth Bookstore here in the Northland Mall. We're in the community room of knowledge at Truth Bookstore. If you guys are in the area, make sure that you come and check us out. Again, it's Truth Bookstore, y'all. We hanging out, we having fun.
Hey.
And I have with me right now MMJ. I know y'all know who this is, Monica Marie Jones.
Hey, y'all.
Thank you for coming.
I'm so happy to be here. I hope I didn't just push my way into an interview. I saw you talking about it. I'm like, can I get on the show?
And you know, you get in. You got preferential favor. Whatever you want. What you want, we're doing it.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going to quickly do a bio on Monica. I'm going to tell you guys who she is, and then we'll get into her books. Monica Marie Jones is an author whose published works include The Ups and Downs of Being Round, Taste My Soul, Floss, Swag, Sweet Soliloquy, Monday Morning Motivation, and Momentum. She is a contributing author in Chicken Soup for the Girl's Soul, New Directions for Youth Development, 44th. Am I reading that wrong?
Yeah, 44th is the name
Oh,
of the
okay.
book.
40.
Yep.
I'm sorry about that, Monica.
It was about President Obama's first election. 44th.
Awesome. And Souls of Our Young Sisters, the next generation of women tell their stories, overcome their challenges, and heal their spirits. She has also contributed to several publications and youth development training materials for the High Scope International educational. I can't read today. That is not good. I cannot read today. You guys, please forgive me. And Monica, you forgive me for messing up your bio.
Hey, I go with the flow. It's whatever.
It's whatever. Thank you. I appreciate that. But Monica is the High Scope Educational Research Foundation and the David P. Weichert Center for Youth Program Quality.
Yes.
Awesome. So right now you have out how many books?
I have written and published 8 officially. One of them is under one of my alter ego names, so 7 under Monica Marie Jones.
Right. Awesome. Tell us, right now it is the holiday season, and I really want to focus on 2 of your books because of this season.
Okay.
And that is Monday Morning Motivation and Momentum.
Yes.
Tell us during this time why these books are so important.
Well, Monday Morning Motivation is very important because often around the time of the holidays, even though it's supposed to be a time of joy and cheer, there are often many people who experience sadness and depression. A part of that may be that loved ones have passed on. And then the other part, which relates to the next book, is that people are feeling like they don't have enough money for the gifts and all the things that tend to come with the season. So that next book, Momentum, is all about financial literacy and financial freedom, and how even though we may be very book smart, we often are not taught how to properly manage and invest and save money. So that book really brings awareness to, people like me. I discovered about myself that even though I had multiple degrees, I was really great at reading books, I was virtually financially illiterate. So I took some time, 3 years, to really study that, and then I kind of put it all into a book that helps people to begin to form those habits towards financial freedom and financial literacy over a 30-day period. And a lot of it is involved in how we think.
Right. So give us like some tips from Momentum. We're going, like you said, we're going into the season where people are just spending money hand over fist. And 2015 is right around the corner, and we start from negative and not even zero.
Yes.
So give us some tips.
Well, one of my favorite chapters in that book is Fear is a Force Field. And a lot of times when it comes to money, we kind of have fear around it, and we don't strive to, start that business or write that book or bring us, do that thing that might bring us a little more financial freedom or a little bit of passive income. So we have some downtime during the holiday season. So I want to encourage people to use that downtime to begin to think or plan through, what are some ways I want to bring more financial freedom? You're on vacation. I know we want to sit around and rest, but start thinking through a business plan or outline a book or, look into some way that you can begin to build financial freedom in that way. Another piece is simply budgeting forever I've known the dictionary definition of the word budget, but it was not until I got a financial coach that I really realized a budget means you set aside and you plan for certain amounts of money for all of the areas in your life. That includes entertainment, that includes gift buying, and you actually don't exceed that. So for me, it was like, oh, I got money, I got paid, let me spend it. But if you have a certain amount budgeted for your gift giving, you have to really figure out a way to get all of that spending within that budget and don't exceed it, because money, should be allotted for different things. So, I mean, it's crazy. You would think, oh, I should understand what budgeting means, but it really means setting aside an amount, knowing what you have coming in, setting aside a certain amount and not going over that. And it's so easy to go over that when it comes to gift giving. One other quick tip is several banks, particularly credit unions, have a program in place where you can save money leading up to the holiday season that you can't touch until around November. So that may be something people want to begin planning for next year. Begin putting into that savings account. They won't let you touch it until November, and then you have your budget for your gift buying and your holiday spending.
That's awesome. You guys need to make sure that you check that out. I know I do. Because I wait to the last minute. Like, I'm serious. The last minute being like a couple days.
Oh, yeah, I'm the same
And
way.
it's like, now I got to get the leftover stuff. So,
Yes.
yeah. Your book, Momentum, I remember reading something where you said that you kept a journal. And at the end, when you're done, you're going to give that to your nephew.
Yes, as I studied all of these millionaires and investors and people who really seem to get it when it comes to financial literacy and financial freedom, I began to collect quotes and strategies and formulas. And I started, recording it all in this beautiful leather-bound journal. And so I plan to continue to fill that up as I am filled with wisdom from those who have figured it out. And then when my nephew is old enough, I want to hand it to him.
Awesome. Passing it down throughout the generations. Ain't
Yes.
nothing like it. We got to keep it in the family.
Yes.
Tell us about your other book. Let's talk about Swag.
Okay. Well, Swag is about a singer named Noelle Dresden that goes on a reality TV show to learn how to have that it factor that most entertainers have. So, for example, Beyonce, Jay-Z, P. Diddy, they don't just sing. They don't just rap. They have, Jay-Z owns a sports team. They have a fragrance. They have clothing lines. So Swag, in essence, is this all-encompassing it factor that entertainers should have. So on the show is called House of Swag. The producer of the show, Monroe Paper Chase, is training people with all this musical talent how to become this overall entertainer with the it factor. So going into the house, Noelle is in a relationship that's kind of not healthy. So she decides, you know what, I'm just going to leave this relationship, go on this show, and, do something for me. But what she finds is that she's caught up in this love triangle between the boyfriend she left at home, the producer of the show who has begun to fall in love with her, and learning to love and believe in herself and see the beauty and the talent and the light shining from her that everyone else sees but her.
Wow. So you guys need to pick up a copy of Swag. I have my copy. So I just want to let you guys know I got my copy and it's good. Tell them where they can get a copy of Swag.
You can get a copy of Swag at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, MonicaMarieJones.com, and I had my book release party at the Motor City Casino Hotel in Detroit, so they still have copies for sale in their hotel gift shop.
One more time.
Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, MonicaMarieJones.com, the Motor City Casino Hotel gift shop. Oh, and also in Northland Mall, there is Payroll Publishing, and they carry copies of my book as well.
You have no excuses. Get your copy. It's real good. I enjoyed it.
Yes.
I even wrote a review about it as
Thank
well.
you.
You also are a poet.
Yes.
An awesome poet.
Thank you.
One of my favorites. You've got a couple different poetry books.
I do.
Let's talk about those.
The first of my poetry books is Taste My Soul, and it's actually set up as a full course meal. So you start with grace, as you do before you eat, and those are my spiritual, inspirational poems. Then you go to the appetizer. So those are poems that kind of whet your appetite. After that is the main course. So it's the meat, the poems that address deeper issues. After that is dessert, so a little bit more racy poems. And then it's after dinner drinks. So that is when it gets into a little bit naughty poetry. So there's a little bit of everything in here. And I also have it available for audio as well. And I'm just really, I initially wrote it as literary poetry, which I just learned from one of my previous guests this past week. But I'm getting now more into doing the spoken word and performing it. And I actually have my first feature coming up. Well, it's not until May, but that's my first time being like the featured entertainer at a poetry night and really performing multiple pieces of my poetry at once. So I'm excited about that.
And this is in March.
May, actually.
May, okay. So we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that closer to May.
Right. No saving of date. And what do we have
and
next?
the other is Sweet Soliloquy, because what I found is that throughout life, I am in love with love in all of its forms. And so this kind of looks at all of the different relationships I've had throughout my life, the different feelings that love has evoked in me. So the chapters have things like, are called like, or the sections of the book are like Heart Whisper, Soul Cry, Heart's Desire, Soul Kiss, and Soul Seduction. So that is Sweet Soliloquy, and just another collection of my poetries, mostly all around love and passion.
You have another book that I am interested in, and that is The Ups and Downs of Being Round. Tell us about that book.
Where is that? Oh, goodness. Well, it's over there. I'll get it later. But The Ups and Downs of Being Round was actually the first book that I wrote. And that was, it's a coming-of-age story about a young lady who struggles throughout life with being up and down in weight and how that affects her self-esteem and her relationships. And though it is fiction, it's actually based on my true story. Because, I mean, when I was in elementary school, they used to call me Miss Piggy, and, just going up and down in weight and dealing with that, learning to love myself from the inside out. And then after graduate school, I remember planning a trip to Disney World. And when I looked at the pictures and the video, I'm like, is that me? Not only had I gained the freshman 15, but I also gained the sophomore 10, the junior 12, the senior 15. And by the end of, from undergrad to grad school, which I went straight through, I had gained 60 pounds. So just like I did with the financial journey, I began to study health, fitness, nutrition. And over the next 3 years, by changing it's always been 3 years. By changing my lifestyle, I ended up losing 60 pounds and over 50 inches. And that was no diets, it was changing my lifestyle. Just like when you brush your teeth. We don't say, I'm just going to brush my teeth for 6 weeks, and then my breath is fresh and my teeth are clean, so I'm going to stop. No, we do that with, I'm going on vacation, I'm going to lose weight. It's a lifestyle change, something you should make a part of your everyday life. Right. So that is the premise behind the ups and downs of being around. And then in the back, I have the actual guide to how I lost the weight.
Okay. Now, I want to take a minute and go back. I want to go back to Momentum, because you have made Momentum an interactive book.
I have.
So tell us what an interactive book is and how user-friendly that is for us.
Okay, so I'm going to give you all my secrets, too, on the business end as well. So Momentum is only available as an ebook, and I call it an interactive ebook because I wrote it based on my 3-year study of financial freedom, and in that study, I came across several amazing people and books and courses and audio. So what I do is for the beginning of each chapter, I take a quote or a nugget of wisdom from all of that study, and it's actually a hyperlink. So if it really resonated with you, you can click through and then go purchase that book for yourself, go listen to that audio CD, go visit that person's website. And that's what makes it interactive. Now, on the business tip, because I'm completely transparent and I love to share tips for you entrepreneurs out there and you authors out there, the link that I have is connected to an affiliate relationship that I have with Amazon. So if you do buy that book, then I get a nice little percentage off of this wonderful, amazing piece of wisdom and knowledge that you are purchasing for your own professional development. So that's something to think about too, as you create your ebooks and make it a win-win-win-win-win situation for all.
Right. Now tell us, throughout your history of writing, your career of writing,
yes,
tell us what was the most important or most profound book that you've written?
I would say of all of them, it would have to be Monday Morning Motivation because while I enjoyed writing fiction and it challenged me, it did not and still does not come naturally for me. Like I really have to like think and wonder. And sometimes, people who are all about literary fiction is like, they're like, this is not the way to write fiction. So, I mean, while I'm very true to who I am in my own writing voice and style, none of that ever came naturally. But Monday Morning Motivation, I feel completely inspired. And when I read it, I'm like, did I write that? It must be from the Lord. It must be. So I feel like that is my true purpose and my true writing voice with Monday Morning Motivation.
Awesome. So we're going to take a quick break, and we will be back with Monica Marie Jones and talk more about her books. This is Kaiology Man here for UrbanNationRadio.com. And like I said, we're broadcasting live at Truth Bookstore. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We're back live. This is Kai Truth Bookstore. We are in the community room of knowledge at Truth Bookstore, so make sure that you guys come and check us out here at Northland Mall. I am sitting here with the wonderful MMJ, Monica Marie Jones, my girl, Miss Motivation, Miss Inspiration, Miss Books, Miss Real Estate, Miss Everything.
Thank you, darling.
Miss Everything. Monica, before we went to the break, you were talking about Monday Morning Motivation.
Yes.
You were saying how you believe that you were divinely inspired to write this
Definitely.
book. Give us like a tip for Mondays, because I know a lot of people, and I check my Facebook timeline Monday mornings, and people are just dogging Monday. I love Monday. I love Monday because it's the beginning of the week. It gives me the opportunity of starting over, kind of.
Yes.
So tell us some tips and tricks that we can use, or some type of motivation that we can use to deter the Monday morning blues.
Yes, and that is exactly the premise of the book. I talk about it being Monday being a new, fresh start in the synopsis. And the tagline I use is turn your Monday blues into your Monday good news. And that is actually why I began writing these. It wasn't even a book at first. I would just, I was going through some depression on my own, and so I said, I need to be lifted. So I would write these fun little, again, interactive or, messages, and I would send them out on Twitter, Facebook, and my email list every Monday morning. And I never realized how much people needed them until I started getting all this feedback. Like, yeah, I'm working at this company, and your Monday Morning Motivation is the only thing that helps me through the week in this old, negative office. Or people went through tragedies, and they're like, this was the first thing to give me hope. So I would say, similar to that, find something on Monday morning that gets you off to a positive start. If you know your timeline is going to be negative, don't look at Facebook first thing. Read a daily devotional, or read, some motivational quotes, or subscribe to my Monday Morning Motivation. Download my app. I send it out every Monday morning. You get a nice little cute picture of me pop up on your phone, and I am sending a message. And I'm actually going to start doing them audio via my podcast as well.
Awesome.
So don't just look for inspiration on Sundays. Whatever person you go watch on Sunday, watch them online on Monday morning as well. Do something to intentionally get yourself in that right spirit, because it is a fresh start. It is an opportunity to start over. And, if you are at a job or in a situation that you're not happy with, you have to intentionally get something to get your energy right, because everything will try to, kind of taint it, if you will.
Right. That is so true. You also, I'll tell you what, tell us how easy or how hard it has been publishing your own works.
Well, it is much easier than you think. I used to be so intimidated by the process, like, oh my gosh, I'm so in love with books. How dare I write a book? But it really is very much a business. And I do a workshop called The Business of Writing that kind of helps people to think through each step. So you can put together a team, and you write your manuscript. Actually, that's probably the easiest part, writing the book. But then you have your editor, and you can hire all these people a la carte. And you hire your editor, you hire your graphic designer to design the book cover, you hire someone to format format the inside of the book. And then you really have to think like an entrepreneur. How am I going to market this book? How am I going to sell this book? What platforms will I sell it on? Right. So, if you're not ready to become an entrepreneur and master marketer, you definitely want to pull a team together, because all of those things need to happen. And it's really fun. To me, it's like a work of art. It's like creating a painting, or, having a child. I don't know. It's like you can put all of your heart and soul and creativity into it. So even if you are not intrinsically motivated to create the whole thing on your own, there are so many resources out here now that make it really user-friendly. One that I use that I highly recommend is createspace.com, which is Amazon's self-publishing website. And everything is very user-friendly. And for those things that may not be, they have tutorials and community chat rooms and things you can download to read. So that's what I would recommend.
Awesome. So you guys have, if you've been listening since noon, you've been getting little tidbits about publishing. And if you've noticed, the recurring theme is create space.
Hey.
So check it out. If you are, you already have a manuscript and you're working on, how should I publish it? Check out createspace.com.
Yes.
But right now we're talking with Monica Marie Jones. We've got swag. Let's talk floss.
Floss, I love floss because that was my first attempt at really, ups and downs is fiction, but that was based on my life. So this is my first real attempt, and in essence, it's kind of urban fiction. Now, I wrote it very specifically with methods to my madness. I noticed that the young people I worked with were really into urban fiction, and I was happy they were reading, but sometimes the content of urban fiction can be really ratchet, raunchy, smutty, and that's okay. It's entertainment. But I said, if that's what they're into and if that's what captures their attention, how can I then weave in some themes of inspiration and some powerful messages? So with Floss, I talk about 6 socialites, if you will, or 6 characters who live in the city of Detroit. And for those of you who don't know what floss means, it's kind of like when somebody uses material things to show off. Like if I have on this fur jacket and all this gold and jewelry, I'm flossing. So that's where the term floss comes from. And that is very prevalent in the city of Detroit. Everybody is really about that flashy lifestyle. Look at what I got. So these 6 characters think that the money, the cars, the clothes, the jewelry, having this fine thing on your arm is what is going to guarantee happiness and gain respect for you. But what they learn is that all of these things come at a much higher cost, which often involves drama and scandal, and even, someone dies in the book. So not to give it away, but yeah. So this has actually been a reader favorite. Men love this book. And when I wrote it and released it, I actually won a couple of awards in the literary community, or honorable mentions, if you will. So, yeah, that is Floss.
Wow. And I love floss. Let's just say I am a fan of Monica Marie Jones. So I have everything. I have everything. Well, except for momentum. I don't have momentum yet. And that's because I've been, trying to get myself financially together. So 2015, that's going to be mine.
Yes. And it's available just as an ebook. So I believe it's like, I have it listed right now. It's $4.99 for a download. Hey, I may even do like a New Year's special and knock it down a little bit further.
Wow. You guys stay posted. Where can we get all of your books?
All of the books are available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, MonicaMarieJones.com. They're all available as ebooks as well. So if you have a Kindle or iBooks, or however you read your books, you can download them that way. Also through Smashwords.com. They're available at Payroll Publishing in Northland Mall, as well as the Motor City Casino Hotel gift shop in Detroit.
Okay. The Motor City gift shop.
Yes.
They're everywhere.
They are.
Awesome. I'm so happy that I know you.
Oh, we're friends to the end.
We are talking live with Monica Marie Jones. She's talking to us about all of her books. Before you go, I want you to summarize for us your literary career.
I shall. Well, my literary career officially started when I was published in Chicken Soup for the Girl's Soul. And similar to the ups and downs of being around, it was a story about being overweight as a young person, but not letting that hold me back from achieving my goals and achieving my dreams. And being published in that was what gave me the inspiration and the motivation to say, hey, if they think my book is good, this is an international best-selling series, then maybe I should be an author. So from that point until now, I've averaged publishing about one book a year since then. And the recurring theme that weaves throughout all of my books is that you can only truly find your joy, your peace, your happiness within. We often look to external factors such as money, fame, weight loss. But until you get it right on the inside, no outside thing will ever bring you that joy and that inner peace. Take it from me, I've been through it all, I've tried it all, I lost the weight, and that did not guarantee happiness. So even though my books are very much about entertainment, it is equally about inspiration and education. Everything I write, everything I do, entertainment, inspiration, and education.
Awesome. This has been Kaiology Man with Monica Marie Jones, the author of numerous books, especially Monday Morning Motivation and Momentum. You guys make sure that you go check those out, especially around the holidays.
Yes.
So we keep ourselves motivated, inspired, and also get our money right. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So this is Kai Mann on UrbanNationRadio.com. Thank you, Monica, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You are quite welcome. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Kai Mann, UrbanNationRadio.com.
Who's taking your money? Does debt seem to be weighing you down?